Now these are some incredibly sore cow's feet, and in this video we're going to attempt to fix them. You're watching the Hoof GP, and in this video we're visiting a farm to trim 50 sexy Holstein cattle.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
You're joining us on a sunny Friday morning here in southwest Scotland, and today we're visiting this routine farm where we usually trim around 60 cattle.
So as soon as we get to this farm, it's a hurry to get set up as quickly as we possibly can. You see, on this farm, they don't really have a race set up, so we end up using the parlour as the race itself, which brings its own problems, because when it comes milking time, we need to be out of the way. Usually there are around 60 cows to trim at this farm, so it's an awful lot of work to get through in just a very short amount of time. Luckily for us though, a lot of the cow's feet here are fantastic. So today we'll take a look at some of the fantastic feet and some of the not so fantastic feet. So this is our setup here. It's one of the few farms where we bring quite a few gates, link them together and make a mini race along with our guillotine gate. And it actually works fantastically well. But having said that, the farmer also has to set up a few gates of his own to make sure the cattle aren't sticking their heads places that they shouldn't. So as this cow comes up the race and begins to dirty our beautifully shiny setup, I'm thinking I should probably get some gloves on.
Today we've got Nick helping us to load the cattle, which really helps to speed things up.
See what I mean? This is a cow needing a small routine trim because this foot is slightly bigger than this foot, and that is no good. But in a few seconds time, it'll be perfect. What did you say? What am I trimming it? How's that even funny?
Oh, girl, it must be you again. You have gone straight to my head. Take the pills and go to bed, but I'm still hooked on it. Well, you are sacred in a way. I don't know God, but still have faith that he will manifest some way when I am next to you.
Trimming cows with feet like this is genuinely fantastic. You just get your head down and in the zone and just keep on trimming. You can get through a huge amount of cows in a very short amount of time, doing the world of good for them.
I asked your father for your hand, but it didn't matter what he said. I thought of you in a white dress. I don't think I can shake it.
With 3 of us trimming in unison, the cows are only in the crush for around 45 seconds.
A little place upstate. Stay till the kids all graduate. Talk of me every day. But who are we kidding?
When we're trimming like this, the repetitiveness of it is quite calming. It takes me back and reminds me of memories from the past. My stepfather was a hoof trimmer for 27 years, and I often think about what he would think of the Hoof GP and this incredible thing that's been created from nothing. My father was a farmer who died aged 49, and I wonder what he would think of what we're doing these days. Hoof trimming is good for the soul.
We made all our memories here, felt our joys and shed our tears. And when the whole week goes to pay, he sends me back a few more years. I'll be back.
You're watching the very definition of maintenance hoof trimming. Trimming where all we're doing is a slight balancing up of both claws, modelling out and making sure there are no untoward problems or cracks rearing their ugly heads. This is the kind of trimming that hoof trimmers around the world absolutely love, because it's easy, it's valuable for the cow, and it's an absolute pleasure to do. Throughout the day we don't really talk to each other all that much. We're so in tune with what we're doing and concentrating on the job in hand that we don't really have time for chit chat, which is why we need all those coffees. That being said though, we always help each other out by getting blocks or bandages for each other so that the job is as smooth as possible.
So this is toe necrosis, an infection within the bone inside this cow's hoof capsule. It's effectively killing the bone itself, and it basically eats right the way up into the foot. They are horrendously hard to fix, and as you can see, pretty horrendous to look at as well. These are open lesions, wide open. If you look on the tip of the toe there, you can already see a bit of claret peeking out. They are horrendously sore for cattle. As you can see, they're absolutely full of gunk and just ugh. All that slurry coming out because this cavity inside the foot is so big. We can't actually do anything like as much to this foot as we would like to. Wash all that gunk away, but it'll probably still just keep coming out. It's just absolutely full of it, but unfortunately if we cut much further we will have loads of claret. Right, we'll just wash it off. For a cow like this is an extremely long-term problem. The bone inside the foot's infected and we cannot possibly reach it through trimming alone. This is a job for a vet if it were ever to be truly chased down in an effort to heal her completely. As it is, our job is to make her more comfortable and make this foot more functional for her, which is exactly what we've done.
So yes, the vast majority of these cattle are just having maintenance hoof trims. They're having the very basics done, but from time to time we come across a cow like this in great need of help. Farmers like the one farming this farm do everything they possibly can to keep their cows as comfortable as possible, and if you look at the ground this cow's walking on, it's actually made of rubber to try and soften the blow from the concrete. But from time to time these things do happen, and we are there to pick up the pieces. The next cow to enter our crush is this one, and she's been treated around 4 weeks ago by us. At that time she had a huge problem here in zone 2 over white line. You can see it's compacted with muck and manure, and actually there's still some salicylic acid from where she's had a wrap. That TP block is still being held firmly in place by Hoof Grip Pro. I need to scratch away all of the muck and manure and wash it as well as I can to see what the problem is. I don't want to cut away anything that isn't absolutely necessary, but I do need to see it.
So this is a hoof that's had a very long-term problem. These orange blocks are only used for problems which are going to last months at a time. And luckily, it's still firmly in place thanks to that beautiful green glue. This is a white line defect problem, a problem that cows get from slipping or banging themselves on hard concrete surfaces or pieces of metal, or even just from twisting and turning on concrete sometimes. And this one is a particularly bad case. You can see it's all under run there, look. This block being on long term actually helps keep the foot up out of the manure as well. So it works as pain relief but also helps to dry the foot out. It is looking really good, but this actually travels right up the front here. Get down on my hands and knees for this one. You can actually see there's pus coming out of this, look. Just make an effort to peel this back as gently as we can, which isn't easy as I've just explained that the hoof is drying out. making it very, very hard hoof on. This is really hard to get into.
You can see the bit of red coming through at the very base of this problem. I haven't really gone too far. I needed to get rid of everything covering up that problem. This hoof horn is incredibly hard, which is why I'm struggling.
Oh, this is actually looking really good. Little bits of claret coming through, but I'm not too worried about that because this has clearly been an incredibly sore foot at one time. Although this is really delicate, it's so tough for my knife, I'm actually going to use the grinder to properly get at it.
This is a risky decision. Although the hoof horn is incredibly hard, it's also incredibly thin there. I'm counting on the KVK holding her firm so that she can't kick out or move too much, but I'm also counting on my hands. Delicacy here is absolutely crucial.
Right, now that we've thinned it out with the grinder, we should be able to take small slithers away with the knife more easily. You can see it tracking right up into our foot, but actually this is looking really good. This is one that is definitely going to be a success story within the next few weeks, which probably gives you guys all the more reason to subscribe. You wouldn't believe how many people watch these videos that aren't actually subscribed to the channel. If that's you, change it. Oh, this is looking good. Oh, cannot get in.
You can hear my frustration. I'm attempting to get the knife to slide right up the dorsal wall of her foot, but the paddle of the crush is in my way. Working upside down like this is never ideal.
Got it.
I'm actually really happy with this. It looks terrible, but it's real progress.
All I'm going to do now is tidy up around these heels just to make sure dirt and muck and bacteria aren't getting trapped in there, which you can clearly see is happening. This block has actually been on for 6 weeks now, so the heels are starting to erode a little bit, letting muck and manure in there, but the block is still firmly in place, so we'll just leave it exactly where it is. So off camera, Craig has just told me when this cow walked in, I didn't see her walking in, when she walked in she's rocking back on her foot, and that'll really give her troubles with her deep flexor tendon, so we need to correct that as well. So because Craig has alerted me to the fact that she's rocking back on this foot, we need to correct that. That's why I'm taking the grinder here to take down part of this orange block so that it's completely flat, and we're applying this second orange block. We're applying it further back and building the heel up using glue, which I'll then grind down with the grinder to shape it back in an effort to make sure this block stays in position. Cows like this are really hard to get walking right again, so it'll be a real test for us to see how she's walking afterwards. Double height blocks are never fantastic, but in this case, she needs it. Right, we'll get this rat in position, and once Kevin is finished making a perfectly good job of that, we'll see how she's walking.
I'm not totally certain you'll have followed all of that, but basically when she was walking in, she was walking on the very posterior of this block, the heel of it, and rocking right back on it. So imagine you walking on the heel of your shoe with your toe in the air. You'd be hurting your ankle with every single step, and that is exactly what this cow was doing. Her toe was in the air and her heel was taking the brunt of it while bending her ankle. I'm hoping she takes good flat steps now, but actually it's the opposite. Her toe is still in the air. She is using the block and she is landing on it, but she's not landing as flatly as I would have liked. However, the block is doing its job, it's lifting the sore affected claw up off the ground, and we'll need to revisit this cow in 2 weeks' time to remove those blocks, while hopefully that foot has healed.